The Alberta Information Commissioner is voicing her concerns that the broken and log-jammed freedom of information process here in Alberta may never be fixed. Jill Clayton is Alberta's Information Commissioner, and she's been very vocal about a very long time about her concerns with the NDP, even issuing a report in April that complained of bottlenecking and the government using lawyers and legal privilege to slow her investigative process down. Clayton told the Calgary Herald, and I quote, "I'm fearful that nothing's going to happen. It's impossible to imagine how citizens can hold a government to account, how they can engage fully in a democracy if they're not able to get information, and a big piece of that is to have independent, objective, and effective oversight," end quote. And when asked about the lack of changes to the Freedom of Information system, Kathleen Gainley, the NDP Justice Minister, said, "It's easier said than done when it comes to any work." Yeah, I know, working is hard, but that's what we all pay Kathleen Gainley to do. And a more transparent government is something Rachel Notley campaigned on. But here's what I think. The NDP want it this way. The last thing they want you to know about is what they're doing behind closed doors. They have absolutely no interest in fixing anything. I'd even go as far to say that the stonewalling of Freedom of Information requests is an NDP campaign strategy. The NDP have been caught getting up to so much baloney in the access to information requests they let through. Imagine what's happening in the ones they block, redact, delay, and paywall. I mean, we found out where the NDP had to cancel all the water bomber contracts 10 days before the Wood Buffalo wildfire in a Freedom of Information request that cost us nearly $4,000 to get access to. And in another filing, we saw emails where the NDP Assistant Deputy Minister was asking the balancing pool to delete emails to hide their mishandling of the electricity system here in Alberta. That investigation led to Jill Clayton opening an investigation into those emails. You know what? I'll even tell you about one of my more recent adventures with these secretive socialists. As you may or may not know, probably not know, because the mainstream media certainly didn't make a big deal out of it at the time, but former Advanced Education Minister Laurie Sigurdsson was investigated for improper expense filings. The Auditor General found that under the NDP, the Alberta government, you and I, helped pay for the NDP caucus-related costs, and for Sigurdsson, as NDP Advanced Education Minister, to go on 2 out-of-province trips with no sign-off for those trips. So I wanted to know what was up. I wanted to know what she was charging, when the trips were, where she was going, and what the bureaucrats were saying and when they were saying it. So we did what we always do. We filed 2 Freedom of Information requests about Sigurdsson's expenses. The first one asked for copies of all documents regarding concerns raised specifically by the Auditor General over expenses submitted by the former Minister Laurie Sigurdsson. And the second request was a more general one. It asked for copies of all documents regarding any questions or concerns about the expenses filed by or for former Minister Laurie Sigurdsson. So we were asking if anyone had ever expressed any general concerns about her expenses. And then we wanted to know what they were saying after it all hit the fan and the Auditor General got involved. These requests should have been easy, since the Auditor General already had the expenses that I wanted to see. You know what I got instead? 2 bills, one for $303.75 and another one for $310.50. Yeah, 2 bills over $600 and a big delay for documents they easily have access to. If the NDP had nothing to hide, they would hide nothing. Instead, they paywall us and try to make it too expensive for our little crowd-funded network to hold them to account. So, once again, I'm asking you for your help. If you can help absorb the costs of getting access to these documents, go to whatissshehiding.com, where you can make a donation to fund our independent journalism. Like the Information Commissioner Jill Clayton, I'm convinced that nothing will ever change until we change governments, because this is how Rachel Notley wants it for the last 2 years of her government. Secretive, closed off, and sneaky. But I'll do all that I can to shine the light of day on her and her destroyers. For the Rebel.media, I'm Sheila Gunreed. If you can help fund our independent investigations into Rachel Notley's secretive and closed-off government, go to whatissshehiding.com and donate today.